The story of Rooster Rhodes begins in 1865, the year of the freedman. Cornelius Harlan, a hateful and vile slave owner, was far from pleased with the news from Washington. He announced the decree to the slaves on his plantation and gave them 3 counts to run for their lives, warning that he would have his men hunt every one of them down until the end of their days. Among the slaves was a young man named Josiah Carter. When Josiah heard Harlan's threat, he glanced around at the others, and an older gentleman whispered to him to save himself, for Josiah was the fastest young man in all the South. Josiah hesitated for a moment before hearing Harlan's count of 3, followed by the crack of a gunshot. Josiah Carter ran, and he did not stop. By nightfall, he slowed his pace, believing he had outrun Harlan's men, but they had caught his trail on horseback. He hit the road again, running for his life. Days passed, and he stopped only when he could find water. On New Year's Day, 1866, Josiah found himself in the town of Beaumont, Texas. Still fearing for his life, he took a new name, Josiah Rhodes. Josiah Rhodes went on to live a happy life, marrying, having children, and running a farm of his own. It was a time of peace for the Rhodes family until December 7th, 1941, when news of the attack on Pearl Harbor reached them. Josiah's grandson, Henry, joined the fight against Japan. Henry was only 19. His girlfriend of 3 years, Ruby May, was 4 months pregnant with their child. The night before leaving to join the war effort, Henry married Ruby May under the stars. Sadly, Henry never returned home from the war. Several months later, Ruby May Rhodes gave birth to their daughter, Evelyn. Ruby May raised Evelyn all by herself. Some years later, Evelyn and her boyfriend, a white man named Walter James, prepared to welcome their first child into the world. In January of 1965, on the morning of the birth, Walter James was nowhere to be found. Ruby May helped deliver Evelyn's baby in the bathtub of their quiet little farmhouse in Beaumont. Exactly 100 years to the day since Josiah Carter had escaped his former plantation owner and arrived in Beaumont, Sally Rhodes was welcomed into the world. Walter James was never seen again. Evelyn Rhodes, like her mother before her, was a strong woman, and she too raised her child alone. Ever since Henry, his grandfather Josiah, and his father Isaiah had all passed away, there had been an absence of men in the Rhodes family. Yet they persevered. Sally Rhodes grew up on that farm with 2 remarkable women and the stories of the great sacrifices her ancestors had made. In 1986, Sally began classes at Lamar University, just a few miles from Beaumont. During her second semester, she met a young white man named Tommy Lee. He was charming, and Sally fell for him easily. For a time, things seemed to be going well. But after only 4 months of dating, Tommy Lee vanished from Sally's life. Still, he left his mark on the Rhodes family. Sally was pregnant with his child. On New Year's Day, 1986, in the same bathtub she herself had been born in 21 years earlier, Sally gave birth to her son, Jackson. By the age of 5, Jackson was waking up before the rooster crowed on his own. By noon, he had already tended the chickens, fed the horses and goats, milked the cows, and mowed the grass. Jackson's mother, Sally, began to call him Rooster. Rooster's toughness and heart carried him wherever he went, from the basketball court to the football field. In 2004, he committed to play basketball at Duke University. He became a star, learning the ways of college basketball from his mentor, Coach K, and his best friend, J.J. Redick. Rooster was eventually drafted by the Atlanta Hawks. After all the Rhodes family had endured and all they had done to persevere, it seemed as though everything had come full circle. That was, until Rooster blew out his knee on the court, ending his NBA career after just 2 years. Jackson Rooster Rhodes returned home to Beaumont. His mother had never seen him so broken. After a long and only partial recovery, Rooster was lost. One night he sat outside beneath the stars. Sally came outside to comfort her only son. It was on this night that she told him the story of his great-great-great-grandfather, Josiah. Something sparked inside Rooster. He had been moping around, feeling sorry for himself, when he still had the gift of life. A gift that would not have been possible without the determination and sacrifice of Josiah Rhodes. 3 weeks later, Rooster was coaching football at his old high school, and he was damn good at it. After winning 5 state championships and putting Beaumont High on the map, Rooster had found his way. In the spring of 2025, Rooster was offered the head coaching job at the University of North Carolina, the rival of his alma mater, Duke. With no college football or coaching experience, and as one of the youngest coaches in the nation, he was heavily doubted before his team ever stepped onto the field. What nobody understood was that Rooster had been doubted his whole life. His entire family had always had the odds stacked against them. The night before his first game as a college football coach, he called his mother. She told him, "If there is one thing I know you are capable of, it's proving everyone wrong." This is the ballad of Rooster Rhodes.